Hello, I'm Dr. Darnell, and welcome to this video about modern organization theory. At the end of this session, you will be able to summarize modern organization theory, discuss modern organization theory as an integrated approach to management, understand key features of modern organization theory, summarize an example of modern organization theory in practice. Modern organization theory is an approach to management that integrates the valuable concepts from classical, neoclassical, and contemporary perspectives. This theory views the organization as a complex system that adapts with the change in its environment, both internal and external. In the mid-20th century, the third technical revolution stimulated the speedy progress of economics. It brought us lots of new economic phenomena and influence organizational environments deeply. The knowledge of classical and neoclassical organization theories cannot explain such organizational changes in such dynamic circumstances. It called for the transformation of theories and brought organization theories into a new development phase. On the human-environment relationship perspective, modern organization theories treat organizations as open systems, emphasize the influence from their environments, and borrow new views and new methods from complexity science, the research paradigm shift to a complexity one. Recent development took place in management theories after 1930. Chester I. Bernard, an American business executive at AT&T Corporation, in 1938 provided a comprehensive explanation of modern view of management and organization. Bernard viewed organizations as systems of cooperation, human activity, and noted that they are typically short-lived. He considered the individual organization, suppliers, and customers as members of an organizational environment or system, one of the first to consider the importance of stakeholders. He published his theory of cooperation and organization in a study of the functions of the methods of operation of executives in formal organizations in a 1938 book titled Functions of the Executive. Bernard's meaning of organizational efficiency differed substantially from conventional use of the word. He defined efficiency of an organization as the degree which the organization is able to satisfy the motives of the individual stakeholders. In his view, if an organization satisfies the motives of its members or stakeholders while attaining implicit goals, the corporation will endure. Modern organization theory is an approach to management that integrates valuable concepts from classical, neoclassical, and contemporary perspectives. This theory views the organization as a complex adaptive system that changes with its environment. Researchers from different fields have made major contributions to modern theory. They emphasize the importance of communication and integration of individual and organizational interests as prerequisites for a smooth functioning organization. With these ideas as basic assumptions, managers can use valid tools, techniques, concepts, and theories of the classical, behavioral, and quantitative management perspectives. For example, managers can still use many of the basic techniques from scientific management. In many contemporary settings, the scientific study of jobs and production techniques can enhance productivity. But managers should not rely only on these techniques, nor should they ignore the human element. The behavioral perspective is also of use to managers today. By drawing on contemporary ideas of organizational behavior, managers can better appreciate the role of employee needs and behaviors in the workplace. Modern organization theory is an integrative framework. It is a complementary way of thinking about theories of management. It involves recognition of current system and subsystem interdependencies, environmental influences, and the situational nature of management. Each of the major perspectives on management can be useful to modern managers. Before using any of them, however, managers should recognize the situational context in which they operate. The systems and contingency perspectives serve to integrate the classical, behavioral, and quantitative management perspectives. Managers need to include the parts from each perspective that are relevant to their situation and apply them using both the system and contingency approaches. The basic premise of the integrative framework is that the elements of the classical, behavioral, and quantitative perspectives may all be relevant. However, none is likely to to provide a complete explanation. Therefore, managers need to carefully assess situations and then select those elements from each perspective that can be applied. Recent development took place in management theories after 1930. Bernard provided a comprehensive explanation of the modern view of management and organization, as he considered the individual organization, suppliers, and customers part of the environment. But he viewed the organization as systems of cooperation activity and noted they are typically short-lived. It is rare for a firm to last more than a century. Similarly, most nations last for less than a century. So modern organization theory is an approach to management that integrates valuable concepts from classical, neoclassical, and contemporary perspective. This theory views organization as a complex adaptive system that changes with the change in its environment, both internal and external. There are several features of the modern theory that make it distinct from other sets of organizational theories. These are: the modern theory considers the organization as an open system. This means an organization consistently interacts with its environment so as to sustain and grow in the market. Since the organization adopts the open system, several elements such as input, transformation, process and output, feedback, and environment exist. Thus, this theory differs from the classical theory where the organization is considered a closed system. Since the organization is treated as an open system, whose survival and growth is determined by the changes in the environment, the organization is said to be adaptive in nature, which adjusts itself to changes in the changing environment. Modern organization theory considers the organization as a system which is dynamic. Modern organization is probabilistic and not deterministic in nature. A deterministic model is one whose results are predetermined, and whereas the results of the probabilistic models are uncertain and depends on chance of occurrence. This theory encompasses multi-level and multi-dimensional aspects of the organization. This means it covers both the micro and macro environment of the organization. The macro environment is external to the organization, while the micro environment is internal to the organization. The modern theory is multivariable, which means it considers multiple variables simultaneously. This shows that cause and effect are not simple phenomena. Instead, the event can be caused as a result of several variables which should be either interrelated or interdependent. The contemporary organization faces unprecedented environmental and technological change. Thus, one of the biggest challenges for organizations is to continuously change in the way that it meets the demands of turbulent competitive environment. The learning organization can be identified as one in which all employees are involved in identifying and solving problems, which allows the organization to continually increase its ability to grow, learn, and achieve its purpose. The organizing principle of the learning organization is not efficiency, but problem solving. Three key aspects of the learning organization are a team-based structure, empowered employees, and open information. Let's look at an example of modern organization theory. Consider a new distribution manager of a large wholesale firm whose job is to manage 100 truck drivers and to coordinate standard truck routes in the most efficient fashion. The new manager with little relevant experience might try to increase productivity by introducing specialization and close supervision as suggested by scientific management, but doing so may decrease employee satisfaction and morale and increase turnover as predicted by organizational behavior. The manager might also develop a statistical formula to use and route driver time more efficiently from the management science. But this new system could disrupt existing work groups and social patterns, such as described in organizational behavior. The manager might create even more problems by trying to impose programs and practices derived from her previous job. As an incentive program, welcomed by retail clerks, for example, she might not work for truck drivers. The manager should soon realize that a broader perspective is needed. Systems and contingency perspectives help provide broader solutions. Applying techniques from several schools works better than trying to make one approach solve all problems. To solve a problem of declining productivity, the manager might look to scientific management. Perhaps the jobs are ineffectively designed or workers improperly trained. Or organizational behavior. Worker motivation may be low, or group norms may be limiting output. Or operations management. Facilities may be improperly laid out, or material shortages may result from poor inventory management. And before implementing any plans for improvement, the manager should try to address or to assess their effect on other areas of the organization. Now suppose the same manager is involved in planning a new warehouse. She will probably consider what type of management structure to create, classical management perspective, what kinds of leaders and work group arrangements to develop. This is behavioral management perspective, and how to develop a network model for designing and operating the facility itself, which is a quantitative perspective. As a final example, if employee turnover is too high, the manager might consider an incentive system, which is from the classical approach, and plan a motivational enhancement program, which is from the behavioral perspective, or use a mathematical model from the quantitative perspective to discover that turnover costs may actually be lower than the cost of making any changes at all. In this session, we summarized the modern organization theory. We discussed modern organization theory and as an integrated approach to management. We reviewed key features of modern organization theory and explored examples of modern organization theory in practice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.